America always plants our flag on the next frontier and pushes boldly ahead. We have to do that. We haven't been doing that for a long time, especially the last 3.5 years. It's gone the exact opposite. Those of you in this room inherit the legacy of generations of American pioneers and patriots, risk-takers and renegades who settled this continent, built the modern world, and lived on the bleeding edge. You live on a bleeding edge. You do know that, Bitcoiners.
Oh, we know it.
You are the modern-day Edisons and Wright brothers and Carnegies and Henry Fords, and what you do in your lifetime stands a chance to outlive us all and inspire humanity for generations to come. This will go down as a very important day in the history of your industry. Together you are building America's future with your own smarts, your own grit, and your own skin in the game. You have a lot of skin in the game, and that's what you're doing. It takes courage to do it. Most people don't have that courage.
Oh my God.
My job will be to set you free and to let you do what Americans do best and what you're going to do better than anybody. Win, win, win. You're going to win, win, win.
That's President Donald J. Trump giving his first real speech at Bitcoin 2024, his real speech about Bitcoin and crypto. I'll tell you, we didn't know what to expect before this speech, and I'll tell you, I'll never forget watching it. I cried. I was going through a really difficult time in my life, and being in crypto and being such a believer, it basically got me nothing but called stupid, laughed at, and to hear, one of my heroes and the presidential candidate that I believed in before he was even the Republican nominee. I loved him from the very beginning. To hear him say that, it was just a feeling I can't really describe, and that speech, I will never forget it. Later in the video, I'm going to show you a video from before that speech that I made before I was a crypto influencer, where I'm just giving my thoughts on it, just kind of for myself. I never even really planned to share this, but we'll look at that video later, and look how far we've come. This is where we've gotten to with President Trump carrying the torch and being the crypto president and making us the crypto capital of the world. Look how far we've come.
So 2 years ago, our country was dead, and now our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's nobody close. No other country is close, and every country will admit it. So now we need Congress to take the next step by passing the Clarity Act, a fair version of the Clarity Act, and this landmark structure legislation. It's a very, very powerful structured legislation which will keep us ahead of China, keep us ahead of everyone else, will open the door to the next wave of innovations and innovators. So,
it really is incredible when you step back, zoom out, and look at how far we've come. It's just been incredible. I mean, we're about to pass the biggest legislation, and it will pass one way or the other. Even if it doesn't pass, the SEC will regulate and will find ways to do it. But just the fact that the bill has been drafted, that was just a pipe dream before President Trump got back in office. And when I think about it, it just makes me cringe when I think what could have happened if we wouldn't have had this man as the leader of our country. If you don't like Donald Trump, and you think he's the devil, and just watch another video. I don't care. I love the man. I can't even imagine what this country would be like if we would not have had him do what he did and give up basically his life, or the life that he knew, in order to lead this country. I know there's very controversial opinions, but I think it's been incredible. I love the man, and I love America, and I don't know anyone who will argue that President Trump does not love America. Even liberals, I don't know. I haven't heard many of them argue that point. All right, here is also where we're at with the Clarity Act. People say it's coming, but here's what's going on.
Do we have full clarity on the Clarity Act, or is it still unclarity?
It's very unclarity, Brian. A lot of
We're
investors...
inventing words here. That's what we're doing. I love it.
We love it. That's what we do here. A lot of investors that I talked to thinking it is kind of dead in the water for 2026 and could get delayed till 2027. If that's the case, though, I think the status on regulation is that the SEC and the CFTC are still largely much more supportive of the crypto industry than we could say about the previous administration. So even without this legislation becoming law this year, if that's what turns out to be the case, the crypto industry, I mean, it would be a good upside catalyst, but they will persist.
So, seems like we're closer. I can't imagine if they didn't pass it at this point with all the time, energy, money spent. I couldn't imagine, and like I said, there will be other ways to regulate. Here's Patrick McHenry. The Clarity Act can pass on September 15th. That's right around the corner. If that happens, nothing can stop Bitcoin from hitting 100,000. Well, I think we'll probably hit more, significantly higher than that. But here's what Patrick McHenry, I like this guy, here's what he has to say from Congressman from North Carolina, former congressman. I wish he would have stuck around longer.
When people are starting to murmur and complain, as they are right now, it tells me that September 15th will be a good vote for crypto.
You have argued that the Clarity Act is the most important technology law since the Telecoms Act. Does this thing actually get passed before midterms?
Well, we'll see September 15th. All signs lead to senators being uncomfortable and going in a bunch of different directions this August. That tells me, as a longtime hand here in Washington, that it will be a good vote September 15th. When everybody's agreeing well ahead of a vote, it is bad news. And when people are starting to murmur and complain, as they are right now, it tells me that September 15th will be a good vote for crypto. But leading into the midterms, the open question here is if they can't get it done September 15th, I think they will, what happens then? And the midterms were going to be a very big indicator of the power of the crypto voter and the activism from Fairshake on making sure that those messages are heard.
I'm glad you brought in the crypto voter. Do you think the crypto voter is actually powerful, or do you think what's powerful is the crypto lobby?
We know we're powerful.
I think it's the crypto voter enables the crypto lobby to actually get things done. The fact is the banks have been well arrayed here in Washington for a very long time, for generations. Crypto's only been around here in Washington for less than 5 years. And so they're trying to make headway. But what they're trying to convey to policymakers is that their voters at home care very much about these innovation policies and will punish those that stand in the way of it. This midterms, that may be important. But going into the next presidential election, you see a Democratic Party wanting to be pro-technology just as well as the Republicans do. And I think that will have a lot of sway, not just in the midterms, but in the next presidential.
Very interesting. Oh, we better do the
when people are
video.
Starting to...
It's not really the intro video because I basically play it in the middle. I kind of do the big news and important things at the beginning and then get into the more personal stuff. But after that intro video, I'm going to show you this video that I made before President Trump spoke at Bitcoin Nashville in 2024. And it's very, very interesting. I know I use the word interesting a lot. Very interesting video to look back on of what I was thinking, what was going on in my mind then. So enjoy that intro or enjoy the DAG video, and I'll see you back here in a couple seconds. So I think it's kind of exciting that you have a brand new asset class. Welcome back. I'm the Digital Asset Guy, your host, and here's the crypto market. Bitcoin right at $80,010. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Just went down to $79,999. Ethereum, $2,500 basically. XRP, we got $1.43. Solana, 107. So we're holding it, but will we get out of this range, or this resistance level right around between like 80. Now let's look at it. So for a month, yeah, we came up about, yeah, we've been right about between 80 and 81,000, but we'll see. In the big picture though, you know, not much resistance after that. It doesn't look like. I'm no blockchain backer. Go watch him. But I am an investor. I am a cryptocurrency investor. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing that I say in these videos is for investment advice. Only my personal thoughts, opinions, feelings, philosophies, things like that for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is iTrust Capital, my favorite platform to buy, sell, and yes, hold cryptocurrencies, whether that's in one of their IRAs. They've got a traditional Roth or SEP. The Roth is my favorite because you pay no tax someday when you draw from it. Or not in an IRA, in one of their premium custody accounts, which is a regular account where you only pay still a 1% transaction fee. That's across the board with any of these accounts. And you get institutional grade security and custody. Same with the Treasury if you have a business or LLC. This is Caleb and Brown, my newest partner. They are a crypto brokerage. That means you can call them on the phone, email, chat with them, and it is their job to give you financial and investment advice. I'll have links to both of those in the description. All right, so here is one of the coverages that we had before President Trump spoke at Bitcoin Nashville in 2024. It's so fun to look back on this. I remember watching this on the news and being like, wow, President Trump is going to, speak at that. That'll be interesting. And here's what they had to say.
Bitcoin, by the way, also higher by more than 1% today after the former president appears to have changed his tune on the digital currency this election cycle. Back in 2019, let's recall, he said, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and other illegal activity. Again, this was the president in the tweet from 2019. Well, fast forward to last month. While campaigning for president once again, he's presented himself as a champion of Bitcoin after posting this on Truth Social, quote, vote for Trump, Bitcoin mining may be our last line of defense against a central bank digital currency. Biden's hatred of Bitcoin only helps China, Russia, and the radical communist left. We all want the remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA. It will help us be energy dominant. This Saturday, Trump is scheduled to speak at the Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville, where rumors are swirling that he will announce plans to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset. Ahead of that, Dom Chu has a look at how it's doing. And Bitcoin, by the way.
All right, so I remember watching that on the news before I went and made this video, but we'll look at that in just a second. So here's the tweet. I'll go ahead and, okay, I can read it in the voice, but we all saw this in the first term. He says, I am not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money, whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and illegal activity. And so there you could tell that he just didn't know much about it, because that's always the go-to argument. But then when you look into what percent of crypto transactions have been for illicit purposes, where it's been proven, it's less than 1%. Because why would you want to commit a crime in crypto? If somebody gets your address, it can be tracked. It's transparent, if you have somebody's address. Otherwise, it can be, it can be anonymous. But so here is another cool thing. I remember seeing this on the news. President Trump bought a burger using Bitcoin.
Here, phone. I'm just going to scan this QR code here with this phone if you want to take that from them. Scan that QR code right here. Take a picture. Right there. Right there. It's that one. Just that text is difficult. All right. And fantastic, it went through.
He says, oh, it went through. My only question is, how did they pay that fast with Bitcoin? Because, I mean, maybe if it wasn't that much, but still, I've never had Bitcoin go that fast. I've only had XRP settle that fast. So I don't know, maybe they were on the Lightning Network, but the Lightning Network is not Bitcoin, it's the Lightning Network. XRP doesn't need a Lightning Network because it is a Lightning Network. So my only question is how was that Bitcoin able to be spent that fast? But then fast forward to today, and this is where we're at.
Bills passed in the next few months?
Well, it's a very funny thing, crypto. So I became a fan of crypto, and to me, it's an industry. I view it as an industry, and I'm president. And if we didn't have it, China would, or somebody else would, but most likely China. China would love to. And we've dominated that industry. It's a big industry, by the way. In fact, when the stock market went down recently, crypto and Bitcoin and all of that went down much less than anybody else as a group. And we've created a very powerful industry, and that's much more important than anything that we invest in. We invest in it, but really that was an industry that wasn't doing particularly well. I got involved with it a couple of years ago, and before the second term. I got involved before I decided to run. I only decided to run because I saw what was happening, and Biden was incompetent, and the administration was crooked and incompetent, and I was in Bitcoin then, not knowing if I was going to do it a third time. So it's become amazing. I mean, it's the jobs that it produces. And I notice more and more you pay in Bitcoin. I mean, people are saying it takes a lot of pressure off the dollar. And it's a great thing for our country. So I don't care about investing. You know, I have I have kids and they invest in different things. They do believe in it. But I'm president, and what I did do there is build an industry that's very important. And, you know, if we didn't have it, China would. Okay.
Sir, Mr. President.
So that's how far we've come. Just imagine, put it in the comments below. Where do you think the crypto industry would be if President Trump was not the president this term? What if we had Kamala? I mean, I just can't imagine. I mean, you'd probably have Kamala and she'd give press, talks, and she'd be like, all right, y'all, basically, you have Bitcoins, which are on the internet, and it's basically fake money, and a lot of people want this fake money, and basically that's wrong. You would have had all these. I can't imagine the press conferences. I mean, the best thing would have been if she would have neglected it, but I heard all kind of rumors they were going to make AI only usable by the government, and these scary rumors. But okay, video's going on too long, but I took this video on July 6, 2024, before President Trump spoke at Bitcoin Nashville. And I was in a very difficult time in my life. You can go watch my career change disaster video. I had lost a ton of weight. You can see I looked actually pretty good. But I was very, very skinny, and I was realizing this program was not what I signed up for. And so I slipped away to the beach to do something for me that had nothing to do with the program I was in. And this is where my heart really was. And my mind was on crypto as well. And the whole thing just wasn't meant to be. And it was because I was so passionate about what was going on in crypto. But I made this video a couple days before that speech, and it went like this. It is Friday, July 26th, 2024. I just wanted to give a little update on how things are going and where my mind is at in all of this right now. So we've got Bitcoin 2024 happening in Tennessee, which I think is, I'm not really a Bitcoin maxi, I'm more of a crypto army soldier in general. But I think there's a lot of interesting things going on at that conference. Donald J. Trump is scheduled to talk. We'll see what he actually says. There's a lot of speculation as to whether he's going to announce a strategic crypto reserve for the United States if he's elected, how the Treasury is going to deal with it. I think that's really, really interesting, to say the least. So there's the video, and it went actually on longer. There's a longer version, I think, on X I posted, but we had no idea what he was going to say. Maybe he would just, I mean, I know from my experience with President Trump, he keeps his promises. I mean, yeah, people love to, it's controversial, and they say, oh, well, he said this and that, but I mean, what big thing has he promised that he didn't deliver on? President Trump, he loves America. I don't think anyone will argue that, even liberals. And he cares about leaving his legacy. And I don't think he would be out here saying we're going to be the crypto capital of the world and all that without making it happen by the end of his term. He already has, but the Clarity Act and all these things that we've been working so hard on, at this point, I just cannot see that all, failing. So it's going to be very, very interesting. And put it in the comments below. What do you think about President Trump? I think he's just an incredible human. I really do. I know a lot of people don't like him, but hey, that's to each their own. But before he was even the nominee, I said, this is who we need. And, family, they said, no, we need Cruz and Rubio. That team should have been called Crubio. But they said, yeah, we're going to have Cruz and Rubio. That's the ticket. I said, guys, they don't have the horsepower. They don't have the grit to beat Hillary. That's not going to work. I want Donald Trump. And a lot of people, I took some heat, and you're crazy. He's not a politician. Whatever. I said, that's why I like him. This guy, when there's a mudslinging contest, he's made of mud. If you read The Art of the Deal, he's a fighter. He had to go against people all the time. He's a debater. In the debates, I just so enjoyed those debates. He crushed everyone. He is the best debater I think I've ever seen in my life, really. And I just knew that's who we need in office, who's going to have what it takes to really change this country and actually do things. And I think he's done a great job. I don't pretend to know everything that's going on with especially the wars and things like that, but I believe that he's been a great president and the crypto president, best that we've had, maybe the best we will have because of what he's doing and when he's doing it in this time. Because before he got in office, we were being choked with choke point 2.0 and all this stuff. They were trying to kill our industry, and those were very scary times. Back when we got under 100 billion, back when I was in 2016, 2018 was just scary. And, we look at where we are now, and I just have to praise this man. But I don't think it's over yet, because he's got 2 more years left. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be exciting. So, all right, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed and share this video with anyone who you think would value it. It's word of mouth and direct referrals that help me the most. And if you help me share my content, you'll be helping me get just a little closer to doing my dream job, which is talking crypto all day, every day. And that's just what I want to do. I do it for free, Thank you so much for watching. And I also want to give a shout out to my people on Facebook who have been watching lately. The support has just been amazing. Please put a comment below. Tell me where you're from, tell me your story. I want to interview some of you on my channel where I have interviews because I want to hear everybody and anyone's crypto story. So give me a shout out below, especially my Facebook people. Thank you so much. Digital Asset Guy out. God bless America.